SAE got secretly nerfed. Yes, the one who just got not two, but I can say three reworks. So let's address something that's already been stirring the community. The idea that SAE just got a stealth nerf. Now, someone would think that his moveset has been subtly adjusted, that certain debuffs were applied, or that some hidden mechanic changed. But honestly, that's not the case. The real reason behind this secret nerf isn't a hidden tweak to SAE at all, it's the introduction of Charles. That's it. The moment Charles landed in the game, players naturally started comparing stats, moves, and performance, and suddenly SAE looked comparatively less dominant. It's important to clarify this up front because I don't want people assuming the devs secretly nerfed a beloved character. Charles wasn't added to make SAE weaker. He was added to understand that, now this is an actual support-style gameplay option, starting with not only one pass, not two, but three passes including the one in the Awakening, and the first ever being added auto-goal cutscene. And more, I'm not going deep into that stuff, because I already made a video yesterday and blah blah blah. But before we dive deeper, a quick reminder. If you're enjoying these breakdowns, hit that subscribe button and drop a like on the video. Supporting the channel helps me keep producing these detailed analyses and guides, and it ensures you don't miss updates on future Blue Lock Rivals content. Now, let's talk about what this really means for the SAE versus Charles conversation. Of course, there's going to be debate. Players will argue about who's better, who got, for example, let's say aura in their cutscenes, or who dominates as a style because, they are both playing in the midfield position. But here's my perspective. As a pure support option, Charles outperforms SAE. Let me break down why I feel that way. Charles isn't just another style that has a typical moveset that involves shots, striker moves, even though, for example, if he is a defender like Aiku, he's a complete support style. If you actually compare both SAE and Charles, you know that both of them have perfect landing passes, steal moves, arm swipe, and contrarian defense, metavision buffs, and even a dashable dribbling mechanic that allows them to actually dash. Their flexibility is good, actually, but if you say that SAE is better than Charles, you will also be right. SAE is an excellent midfield style who can play as a pure solo striker with offensive moves, but as a support-oriented player, his toolkit is limited. SAE's support essentially revolves around one move, the pass, alongside a passive buff that enhances the pass buff. He also has his beautiful shot, which can also be used as a pass in certain situations, but it doesn't match the depth or versatility that Charles brings in pure support play. Personally, I wanted to try Charles as a support because it's something different. After months of focusing on strikers with busted shots or even defenders like Aiku who have offensive potential, I was craving a fresh experience. Charles will allow me to engage with the game in a completely different way, controlling the flow, setting up teammates with precision, defending like Don Lorenzo, and still contributing offensively when needed. For me, this is refreshing. It's not that I don't love SAE, he will always remain one of my favorites. But after countless matches relying on high-damage strikers, Charles offers a chance to, actually enjoy playing as a support, as a passer. And not only that, I can also be like a light version of Don. I'm going to repeat, think of it as being able to play a mini Don Lorenzo, but with the SAE's moves. Now, let's break down their moveset, not in the detail because, everyone already knows and it will be boring if I just repeated myself from the last video, but I'm just going to slightly break down the movesets because certain amount of people still thinks that, for example, as a support, SAE will be better than Charles. So yeah, I hope you get what I'm saying. So, starting with Charles, what makes Charles exceptionally dynamic is how versatile his abilities are in different scenarios. Take his Rabona pass, for example. This Awakening move is designed to guarantee a goal in the cutscene, regardless of goalkeeper positioning, making him a highly reliable offensive option even when he's playing a support role. Beyond that, Charles has a steal move which summons, an actual demon resembling him to intercept the ball and disrupt enemy plays, adding another plus to his toolkit. And yeah, it's kind of boring that another new style has an ability that works similarly to Don Lorenzo's Yo Michael move, which is disappointing and makes Don, I can just say, useless as a defender, because he is not unique. Also, his Metavision buff, not Metavision, but you know what I'm saying. So his Metavision is just another buff to passes, and it also gives a slight speed boost, which is not bad, honestly. Yeah, so Charles is SAE's more support version, I can say. But, unlike SAE, Charles is equipped with two separate passing abilities, which allow him to, not surprise, but pass actually 2 times, just to make sure that you know you're playing as an actual support and not the boring mid-striker style. So yeah, you can still play with Charles as a striker, but why if you have SAE, but okay. Also, on top of this, his dribbling, which is basically also a dash ability, enables plays that are offensively and defensively, giving him the chances if your teammates can't even score with the Kaiser, let's say, or Neil Nagy. And to make gameplay even less boring, Charles has dual awakening animations, including the Rabona pass and steel move cutscenes, which in current phases are bare minimum, right? But yeah, altogether, these abilities make him not just a support player, but actually a highly flexible and impactful player on the field. SAE, on the other hand, has a moveset that is simpler but still effective in his intended role. His primary tool as a support is the pass, which is reliable and precise but limited in its scope compared to Charles' dual passes. He also has his beautiful shot, which can occasionally function like a pass, but is mostly offensive in nature. And that's the reason he is more striker than support. And I know supports also have a shot moves, but it's the game. Yeah, SAE benefits from a passive buff that enhances his passing abilities, though it doesn't reach the same level of versatility or multi-layered functionality as Charles' Metavision buffs, at least what I'm feeling. And, you know, SAE shines most in his offensive focus, able to solo carry matches with his entire move kit by all alone. He has a shot, he has a dash, he has 2 dribbling, and his passes, his passive. Like damn, he is indeed like perfect example of support striker. Yet when it comes to pure support, I'm repeating, pure support, like, you know, feeling like you're controlling the flow of the game like the PXG's heart, his toolkit doesn't match the depth that Charles brings. So why do I personally feel Charles is better than SAE? Again, this is just my opinion, but it's based on pure enjoyment and not feeling repetitive. Charles allows me to play pure support, focusing on setting up plays, controlling the field, and protecting the team while still being able to step up offensively if needed. He's not just a defensive player, he can adapt dynamically to situations, switching between protective roles and offensive setups seamlessly. For players like me who have grown tired of relying solely on typical moves, strikers, or basic shots, this is a refreshing and engaging way to experience Blue Lock Rivals. Now, I want to clarify one more thing. SAE will always remain my favorite style. There's no debate about his moveset. His ability to break defenses and score while also being a support is unmatched. But after playing with him too much, the repetitive nature of his gameplay started to feel limiting. Charles, on the other hand, brings novelty and strategic depth. Of course, this doesn't mean you should skip SAE. If you're a player who loves solo carry potential, offensive pressure, and scoring, he's still unmatched in his role. But if you're a player who has more than, let's say, 1,000 goals, and you are looking for something fresh, a way to mix support and offense, or simply a new angle to enjoy the game, Charles is the perfect choice. So, yeah, that's my full take on the subtle, SAE, nerf perception, the addition of Charles, and how these changes affect the overall meta. Drop your comments and experiences in the comments. Until then, see you in the next video.